Welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter Mukray, a Dallas-based DP, and in today's video, we're talking about sliders, specifically the iFootage Shark Slider Nano II. Now, I know what you're thinking. We don't need sliders. There are plenty that we have sitting on shelves that we never use, but this one is a game changer, and I'll tell you why in this video. Quick disclaimer, iFootage did send me this slider and some accessories in exchange for a video, but all the opinions expressed in this video are my own. Let's get into it. So this is going to be a standard setup for a slider. Typical sliding motion. I'm going to have the camera. I'm going to add a ball head to the setup itself. Nothing too complex, real simple, and very fast to set up. So the motion I want to do with this camera is I want it to slide out from this direction, just kind of make a reveal from around the rock. So I'm going to go real simple and just use a ball head for this one. And I'm going to attach the base plate that's included with the kit onto the ball plate. See if we can get it without a tool to lock into place. There we go. That works. And then we'll just slide that guy on right there. And then I will attach my camera to it. And that's set up there. I'm going to make it sit forward. And then we'll see what we're dealing with now. I'm bringing a battery for this setup. It makes it a lot easier. I'll just click the battery in. It's an MPF battery, and then we'll fire up the slider. What I noticed is I'm going to be a little too tall to get the reveal. So what I want to do is I want to remove the head. So I'll remove the ball head, and I'm going to attach the camera directly to the included plate. With this method, I won't be able to tilt or rotate the camera, so it is vital that I make sure that the slider is level and in the right orientation that I need it. So now I'm just going to slide this guy on. And now we're going to set our A point on the camera. So I'm going to see if everything looks the way I want it. So when you go to adjust the settings, you may notice you're locked out because there's a little lock indicator there. You want to hold both the power button and the function button, and that unlocks it. So we'll set our A point, and then we manually move the actual slider and twist it to the position we want. And then we set our B point, and we could adjust the time in between. So I want to extend this to be a little bit slower. 20 seconds seems like a good one. Hit standby and it goes to point A, and then you hit start, and that's how you get your action. Put my monitor out, make sure I'm getting what I need. So the iFootage Moco app gives you the ability to control the slider, but you could also film with your phone on the slider with the included phone holder. iFootage keeps adding accessories and features to these sliders. Now you can use your Osmo Pocket 3 with the Pocket 3 adapter. I've also added the spider crab to this to give me flexibility to move things around. And yes, the Pocket 3 does communicate with the slider when you use your USB-C cable that was supplied with your Pocket 3. Now let's try a little more complex of a setup. We're going to use the iFootage Shark Nano II, and then I'm going to use a DJI Gimbal, and we'll get it set up. And I want to capture a little bit of the sun that's coming and peeking through here. It's constantly changing, so once I get set up, I may shift a few things to get the flare that I need. But let's see how long it takes to set everything up without any prep. We'll see what we have going on. So I am going to be using the gimbal. So I'm using a DJI RS4 for some of the movements, and then I will be using the iFootage Shark Nano II, and this is the longer version. So what I like to do when I'm in a little rougher terrain is I like to attach these little guys here, and they are real inexpensive mini tripods with ball heads on them. And that gives me the flexibility to kind of adjust the slider in a little more wild terrain. So we're not perfectly flat here. This will give me the flexibility to adjust everything and make it where it works for me. So I want to have the slider about right there. And what's cool about the slider itself is it does have a little ball level on it, so you can make micro adjustments and see what you have going on. I like the way this is sitting, so I also use my own bag to store all the components that come with the slider itself. So right now, since we're using the Ronin, I will attach the Ronin plate for it, and then there is a little connector that communicates between the two of them. So I'll get the gimbal, click it in place. What's really cool about this slider too is it actually powers the gimbal itself, so you don't have to have a separate battery or power supply for that. It will run off of whatever battery you use for the slider. So I will use the iFootage battery, and this is the PD140H to power it, and you can use a USB-C cable and plug it right up, and then you could set that battery wherever you would like. So makes it real flexible if you have a tight space or you want it off to the side, and it gives you a lot of power. So now I'm going to adjust the gimbal and put the camera on. So have my camera here, I'm going to slide it on. We're good to go on that end, and we're all set up. Let's get centered, and then I'm plugged in and I'm ready to go. I mean, that's pretty much it. But I do want to add something else, because the older we get, the harder it is to see things. So I'm actually going to use the spider crab, and what it is a magic arm that attaches to the actual sled portion here. And the reason I want to use it is I want to have a better look at what's going on. And with the gimbal moving around so much, if I was doing a big movement, it'd be hard to see the action that's happening. So I'm going to plug that guy in real quick. And this is not necessary to run this. Like I said, we'd be ready to shoot already if I wasn't attaching this. This will probably take longer for me to connect than it would to set everything else up. Now what's really cool too is it has the RE locator pin, so you have the anti-rotation components to it, which are really nice. So I don't have to worry about my monitor rotating on me because it's on the right side of the the left side of the rotation and undoing the actual setup. Now one thing that I do need to have power to is the monitor. So I need to go to my case and grab one of those NPF batteries that I use. So I'll grab one of those real quick. I'm going to set this guy up right here, just out of the way. And then I use a very lightweight HDMI cable. It's way far on the other side. Yeah, you're better off going the other way to catch it. I had someone stop by, I had to chat with them for a moment, and now the light's gone all over the place, but I'm going to get set up now. So this is in push mode, so I could slide the slider wherever I need to, and this will be my first spot I want it set up on. And then I'm going to lock that in as my A point and just tap the screen here. And then I'm going to go to my B point, and you could set up as many as you want, but we're just gonna do 2 here. And then I'm going to push this to land a certain way. And I like where it is right about there. So you can see I'm getting a little bit of tilt, pan, and the sliding action. So I'm going to set that to my B point. And then I'm going to adjust the time to be 30 seconds. So we get a nice smooth motion on this. All right. And I'm going to loop it, so the action is going to loop. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Go to standby, it's going to go to its first point. Perfect, and then I'm going to hit start, and let's see what it looks like. Now, something to consider is whenever things are moving too quickly, you'll get a little bit of jittering in your shot. So right now, we're getting the action happening. We had all right, so this looks really cool. So I'm going to walk into the shot, and I'm going to kind of time it from where I see it coming to the starting point, and I'm just going to walk back and forth, and maybe we'll be lucky enough where we get a really cool shot. And you never know with these kinds of setups, and that's what's cool about the ability for it to just continuously go back and forth. Is if you have talent, you could get them to do it again, and it doesn't fall on you at that point where the camera movement is messed up or shaky. Everything's looking good. So let's see what it looks like. With the ability to set up 8 waypoints, that can take a little bit of time if you're getting real complex with your movement. The worst thing that could happen is you lose power. So what's really cool is when you start right back up, which we'll do right now, it has a memory of your waypoints and your setup, so you get right back to doing the same movement again. So now it's calibrating, starting back up, setting itself up, and then it's going to ask me, do I want to use the same setup I had before? And here we go, we're back in action, and you get right back to your same movement that you had before. So you don't have to worry if you lose power, you can keep going. Something that really aggravates me when new products come out to the market is you have to buy a specific battery for that specific product and those accessories. With the iFootage Shark Slider, you don't have to do that. It is powered by your regular NPF batteries that you probably have tons of, or with the USB-C connector. Now the USB-C connector could go into a battery bank, it could go into AC power, it doesn't matter, it's not specific, and you don't have to worry about an internal battery dying over time and having to be replaced. The PD140H is a nice extended battery that gives you a lot of life for those long time lapses or those continuous movements to get you through the day. So once it's all set up, it's real easy to move around and get your next shot set up. So I'm losing light, so there's something I need to pay attention to, like, hey, where's the sunlight? Move quickly. But with this setup, I can be quick. I'm still using the battery, giving me some flexibility. I could set it where I need to, but I think for this shot, I'm going to have to remove one of the legs that I attached. So I'm going to do that real quick to help me level out this space because it's uneven terrain. There we go. I like that a lot better. And then actually, let's see what we can get with this leg here. Okay, loosen this, adjust it. It's actually pretty decent. Now the cool thing about slider shots is they don't have to be perfectly flat or straight because you're getting some kind of action happening. So I have that, have the battery over here, have this set here. I have a beautiful sunburst. I'm going to go back into the menu. We'll start with unlocking the slider, bringing this over. I'm going to start with point A here, and I think I want point A to land liking this here. Yep, I like this, so that's going to be my point A. And then I'm going to slide it about halfway, and then I want to hit the sun here, and that's going to be my point B. And then my point C, I'm going to take it all the way over and point it low at the ground. I like that. That's my point C. And that's set to 15-second standard intervals between them. I'm going to adjust my autofocus. Well, it's there. We'll see what it does. Let's give it a try. Let's just hit start. I'll record. and we'll see what that does. It's reached point B and now it's moving on to point C. You know what? I'm liking the movement. I'm going to go ahead and walk in the shot and see what it looks like. So what do I think of the iFootage Shark Slider Nano II? This slider is amazing. The integration of DJI products like the Pocket 3 and the RS Gimbal make it a great competitor to high-end motion control systems at a fraction of the price. The ability to control the slider with an app or the touch screen and make it really quick to set up in a pinch is great, because when I want this to run, I need it to run quickly and I need to be able to use the controls that are here. The adjustments between waypoints and adjusting stuff you've already programmed make it so simple to use. The power options where you're not limited to certain battery or a certain brand makes it really great to use. So that just makes it where I can get this system and deploy it quickly, meaning I can actually use it in my productions versus letting it sit on a shelf because it's just too clunky, too complex, and not worth the setup. Now, something that I would like to see, but I've already implemented my own use in it, is some kind of legs, outrigger legs that make it where you could use this on unlevel surfaces on the ground or something like that. When it's on a flat surface, it's great. Or if you don't have it overloaded too heavy, the ability to have it center supported on a tripod like this is perfectly fine, but it would be nice if there were some kind of outrigger legs for this system. I really like it. I'm going to integrate it into my system, and there's some rumors, I think I've seen it at IBC, where they're coming out with an even longer version of this slider, which is great. Now, I'll have links to everything down below in the description. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I appreciate every single one of you. If you like this type of content, give us a sub, and click this video or this one. There's all kinds of recommendations YouTube says you're going to love. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Shark Slider.